So every day around the world, people fall in love, share a kiss, come out of the closet. The places where the significant moments actually occur becomes cherished for the memories that they hold. So diversity, inclusion, and equity are the values of the heart for everything. Now we even have a deity called Tu'er Shen, or the rabbit god, who manages love and sexual encounters and relationships between gay people. So the protagonist here is a person or a guy called Hu Tianbao. He was originally, a man who fell in love with a very handsome imperial inspector of the Fujian province in China. So one day, Hu Tianbao was actually caught peeping at this really handsome imperial inspector, through the bathroom wall. So he actually obviously made a hole in the bathroom wall and was peeping at this really handsome guy. Obviously, Hu Tianbao is portrayed as someone younger and fair, and the imperial inspector that he has desires for, it's of a much older man. So he was actually caught, and he was sentenced to be trialed. And when he was being questioned, he then reluctantly admitted that he had affections for the older imperial inspector. So this imperial inspector was so angry that he ordered him to be beaten to death. So 1 month after the death of Hu Tianbao, he said, that he has appeared to a guy in his hometown in a dream, that he wanted the shrine to be erected, and he died. He claimed that his crime was of love, and he died a horrible death, and it was not reasonable. The underworld officials decided that they have to right injustice. So Hu Tianbao is supposed to come back as Tu'er Shen, or the rabbit god, to preside over homosexual affections, as well as a safeguarder of homosexual relationships. So after receiving the dream, this guy in Fujian province actually erected a shrine dedicated to Hu Tianbao, or Tu'er Shen, or the rabbit god. So much so that in the late Qing times, the cult of Hu Tianbao was targeted for extermination by the Qing government back in the late 18th century. So it was so bad that the Qing government wants to, put a lid on it and clamp down on the cult of Hu Tianbao. So a slang term for homosexuals in the late imperial China was called tuzi, or rabbit, which is why Hu Tianbao is referred to as the rabbit god, or Tu'er Shen. Though in fact, Hu Tianbao has got nothing to do with rabbits at all. It should not be confused with Tu'er Ye. So Tu'er Ye is the rabbit in the moon, which is the companion of Chang'e. So during, the Mooncake Festival, when the moon is full, you can actually see this rabbit pounding, elixir in the moon, and he's the companion of Chang'e. But, Hu Tianbao, or Tu'er Shen, it's got nothing to do with this. It was probably, I guess it probably won't surprise you that rabbits have this connection or used as sexual symbols in Chinese mythology. But you may be interested to know that Tu'er Shen, or Hu Tianbao, is actually the deity of same-gender relationships and love. There's lots of arguments and stories in terms of who is this Tu'er Shen, because he doesn't appear in the Taoist pantheon of deities, or obviously not in the Buddhist realm as well, but he is respected and worshipped as a deity of same-sex love and relationships. There are temples dedicated to this sort of same-sex love and relationship. One to mention is quite popular or famous in Taiwan, it was said that they lots of people, or lots of men and women who are after same-sex love or a better relationship would go there to ask for these prayers to be answered. It's also said that sometimes in these temples there are tapestries or effigies or statues of two men in an embrace or holding hands together, and it's depicted as a younger person holding or hugging an older person, as in the effigy or the tapestry itself, and they're always seen in an embrace or hand holding is demonstrated as a brotherhood of some sort. Sometimes they call it as tai bao, but those in the know interpret it as a totally different way. So there are lots of other stories or hearsays about whether Tu'er Shen or Hu Tianbao do they even exist to begin with. That's for you to go find out as well. Next time you're in Taiwan, do visit the Tu'er Shen temple. They also say that because for a normal relationship of of a male and female, they have the Yue Lao to help link the red thread. So they actually need someone to link the red thread for lovers of same-sex relationships. So here obviously the protagonist, Hu Tianbao or Tu'er Shen in this case, would be the one who links the red thread between lovers of the same gender. So religions both in the East and West have long pushed homosexual relationships and communities into the margin, but providence is benign, and love is now given to all human beings as equals.